no. Just no. Now, Terminator Dark Fate is the 6th film within the Terminator franchise, a franchise that really should have ended after Part 2. And in the film, we have a new Terminator human warrior hybrid kind of thing called Grace. I call her Kylie Reese because she literally has the same backstory as Kyle Reese, and she's out to save not John Connor. She has to save a young girl called Danny, who I tend to call not John Connor because she serves the same purpose as John Connor without being John Connor, and she has to save her from not T-1000. It's a new Terminator with a bunch of cool tricks, who's not as cool as the T-1000. And while trying to escape this new threat, they run into none other than Sarah Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger, aka the original T-800. Cyberdyne System, Model 101. And now we have another stinker. There's no other way of saying it. This movie totally blows. It's a massive disappointment. I just gotta say, I fucking hated it. But me being a positive dude, let's address the positives first. It was so good to see Linda Hamilton back on screen as Sarah Connor, because personally, for me, she is the only Sarah Connor. I like Lena Headey, aka Cersei Lannister, as Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and I'm one of the few people that thought Emilia Clarke didn't do such a bad job in Terminator Genisys. I just didn't like that movie that much. But Linda Hamilton kills it. She's cool, she's believable, and I bought her as a badass in Terminator 2, and I do buy her as a badass in Terminator Dark Fate. Also, it's always cool to see Arnold in this iconic role. I mean, he is the Terminator, and to me, he's the only Terminator out there, other than Robert Patrick, who still was amazing as the T-1000. Other than that, this movie is bland as shit. This movie is just a bland copy and paste remake of Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 without being as great as these films. Let's go down the list of our new characters. First up, we got Grace. I call her Kylie Reese because that's what she is. She's a hybrid human Terminator, I don't know, super warrior. Very reminiscent of Sam Worthington's character from Terminator Salvation. And I swear to fucking God, I'm not lying. He was more interesting than she is. And since he wasn't really interesting, that is saying a lot. Same goes for Danny, who is just stereotypical, I'm the chosen one, but I'm independent and I'm able and tough to fight for myself. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not. You have 3 protectors at your side. Use them. I mean, John Connor was angsty. John Connor was a little boy. He wasn't badass. He wasn't tough. He needed his mom and he needed the T-800 to protect him. So I didn't buy this character whatsoever. The acting, however, was solid from both Mackenzie Davis and the girl that played Danny. I forgot her name. The new Terminator, the new bad guy, he has no personality whatsoever, which is a bummer. And the CGI, the CGI is horrendous. Seriously, like, how did this movie make the final cut? How was everyone okay with this CGI? It looks terrible. The action sequences are dull. There's no interesting stunt work. Everything seems to be shot in front of a green screen, and they very often replace Mackenzie Davis with an obvious CGI version of her, which doesn't look good whatsoever. It reminded me of Neo in Matrix Reloaded. It's actually that fucking bad. And now let's get to the plot, because the plot also is a bit of a mess. Right out the gate, they shit on everything that Terminator 2 and Terminator 1 established. This was supposed to be the solid sequel to Terminator 2. It's not, because I don't want to get into spoilers, but the way they continue the story of Terminator 2 right out the gate, you're like, wow. So that was pointless. Like, Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 are now rendered completely and utterly pointless. Thank you for that, movie. And the way they treated Arnold's character, I guess some people are going to be pissed. I would have been pissed, but since I'm done with the franchise, I've been done with the franchise ever since the end of T2, because everything that came after was mild entertainment at best. it didn't bother me as much. I was just like, I can't believe they're doing that. I was laughing my ass off, but I could see some people being as offended as I was by the way The Last Jedi treated Luke Skywalker. Let me just leave it at that. It was quite insane. The final battle had a few good bits, but all in all, this movie drags. Like the second act, nothing of interest happens. There's like some social commentary in it, but it's not why I came to see a Terminator film. And I think, look, social commentary is important, I get it, but it doesn't make for good storytelling. Social commentary in and of itself doesn't equal good entertainment. And this movie just didn't entertain me. The second act was boring, dull. The characters were uninteresting. I mean, Linda Hamilton gave her best to save this movie, and all praise goes to her and to Arnold, because these are the only two characters that I kind of gave a shit about. And when the film ended, I was like, yeah, they've done it again. It's like I've been in an abusive relationship with this franchise ever since the end of T2. Every single time they fool me into going to see the next one, and every single time I leave disappointed. I think I'm done with it. I mean, since I love Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 that much, I will always go and see the next one, because I just have to keep my faith up. I just have to be the guy that's like, one of these days, we're gonna get a worthy sequel. But I hate to tell you, Terminator Dark Fate isn't it. Because Terminator Dark Fate gets the shit award. Yep, so much for this is the only true sequel to Terminator 2. Well, if by only true sequel to Terminator 2 you mean a film that shits all over the legacy of T2, well, then you may have a point. Other than that, this movie completely blows, and to me, as a hardcore Terminator 1 and hardcore Terminator 2 fan, I was disappointed as shit. But that's just my opinion. So Terminator Dark Fate, or Terminator 6, in case you're still keeping track of all the numbers, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.